great honor to be here with you, and I thank the invitation of the organization to share some of our experience in Portugal concerning the water services and the regulation of water services. And to be honest, after what I heard previously, I think I can complement and hand some useful ideas, messages, and concerns also. You will confirm that or not at the end of the session. Well, since we are a small country, as you can see, nevertheless with a very scattered and water services, a lot of companies for our dimension. And since the mid-19th, infrastructures, affordability and quality of service of water services in Portugal had evolved in such a relevant way that someone in the IEWA called it the Portuguese miracle. It's more or less in that period, in these 20 past years, that we had strong strategic plans, and ERSAR was created also, at least in the beginning, in a different form as is today. However, recently, the general picture has changed. This cycle, this impulse, what we thought it was an ongoing process that never ended, as facing many obstacles. We feel that things are slowing down. In some aspects, our evolution stopped. And in other ones, our solutions are an obstacle for further evolution. These are the aspects I would like to share with you, because probably they are most important than all the other. So we have some problems, probably the original problems that reappearing again. New problems are emerging, and we ask that if the previous success is or not in risk. It's probably, and I'd like to share with you what we are learning from our experience. To be honest, I'm really, really concerned with the future in Portugal concerning the water section. If I were in Portugal, speaking in Portugal, I would be softer in my words, because it's the risk of it to appear in the cover of the Blade the day after. But I feel free to explain all the difficulties we're facing now and the way we are thinking of them. It's probably important to start showing the framework of the water sector in Portugal, that it's not common in many countries. We have what we call the left side, the wholesale area, the bulk water service, and the retail on the right side. It's something that appeared in the 90s, in the beginning of that period, probably by historical and political reasons. And I think it's what we can call an original sin. There's a lot of problems concerning this. They are very, very different from each other in all aspects. The institutional framework and legislation, the kind of problems and their dimensions, the difficulty to face those problems, the complexity of the decision process, the management performance of each companies in each side of the framework, and obviously the role of our regulator in each of them. As you can see, it's a framework that has the distribution, let's say, with the responsibility of municipalities, and the state with the bulk water services. This is a very important aspect, and if it was not enough, to add that framework, you can see we have in the water service something like 240 operators, more or less 12, 15 in the bulk side, and all the others in the distribution side. But as I was saying, to add an additional complexity to the process, there's a lot of management models. And it turns the situation very complex. There's all kinds of solutions in Portugal concerning the management and the institutional solutions for each company in the entity that we regulate in the water services. This is a framework that probably gives that idea. ERSAR appeared, there's two important moments when it appears with another status, with the actual formulations more recently. And I think that miracle, that important process, probably has its roots in our strategic plans. Strategic plans are very good. I'm not suspicious to say that, because I was completely out of the process, but I admire those strategic plans. These are the recent ones. There are previous strategic plans, and obviously the problem is the execution of the plans. There's a new plan here. It's probably in 1 or 2 weeks. Will be published. Is a plan for the end of the decade, with that P signalized that includes also rainwater in the all process. And just briefly, to give you that idea, there are some numbers that explain that important and interesting evolution in Portugal in that period, in these 20 years. But what I want to talk with you is the problems that we're facing, and the way we see them in ERSAR. Well, let's be honest, we have some problems that are completely solved. Service coverage, service affordability, safe water, in general terms, quality of service, we feel well about that. But some others reappeared, and some new others emerging. When we talk a lot of them here, the maintenance of infrastructures. Our infrastructures were very good at a certain point. Now the maintenance process was not very accurate, and that's the result of all this, water losses. We have problems of financing the activity with the cost of recovery problems. We have operation efficiency, structural efficiency concerning the scale of these entities. We have governance. We have problems of solidarity. We have lack of awareness in the circular economy. I will give you some ideas about each of these aspects. Some examples concerning the rehabilitation of our infrastructures. As you can see, Doro told you a few minutes ago that we have all this kind of information accessible. This is a map of Portugal concerning our appreciation, our evaluation of the levels of rehabilitations in the last years, 2-3 years. It's everything in this semaphorous option. It's the countries in red. Of course, some problems we didn't have before water loss start appearing also. As I told you, affordability, we are talking about a good essential for life, so we have to prevent that, we have to maintain affordability. This is our, if you can compare with your tariffs here, this is for a standard situation. This is the cost of water services in Portugal in average. Someone say they compare well with other countries that more or less say that they are not expensive. But this is, in fact, the aspect of affordability in Portugal. On the left side of water supply and the wastewater on the right side. But when we compare for the same period, the cost recovery indicator, we see that we are in really trouble. Let me be clear. We have two great areas, the bulk area and the retail area. And all this appears in the retail area. The role of ERSAR in each areas, the role is very different. Concerning bulk areas, 15 companies, more or less, we analyze, discuss, approve their business plan. We define in the business plan the tariff trajectory for a period of 5 years, it depends on the situation. We control their efficiency, and we check if their efficiency is according to standards, and we are doing a great effort to have fine indicators that allow us to do benchmarking, good benchmarking. And concerning the retail area, we have no power for anything of this. So we can't control, we just alert entities of this situation, for instance, of cost recovery. We make recommendations, and we can do anything else because of the law, and the result it's here. Concerning efficiency, it's the same aspect. We analyze, we are now developing new methodologies to set efficiency costs in the bulk area, and we are very optimistic about the outcome of this process. Concerning the retail, nothing happens in this area. And let me give you at last some ideas that are a little bit different from the previous ones. They are more, let's say, intangible. And because they are intangible or more intangible, they are probably more difficult to change. And we are facing them with a lot of concern. The first one, the scale. The efforts we made for aggregations. This is a scale business, period. And that scale, optimal scale, I think we got it we have it in the bulk area. Obviously, we don't have it in the other area. Well, I heard someone say something about this today, but we have in a small country like Portugal, we have in the distribution area, we have more than 200 entities that we regulate. More than half, 55%, have less than 10,000 users. It's unbelievable. It's impossible to have professional management. It's impossible to have structural efficiency. Why not operational efficiency and so on? So there's a great problem in Portugal, and it's very difficult to face. It's very difficult to change this because it's the power of municipalities that's in this process that's is turning difficult to foster aggregations. We do a lot of things trying to municipalities with some proximity, geographic, to aggregate themselves, to try to deal with these services together. And unfortunately, what we are facing today is the other process. Is some aggregations we have and some municipalities that want to get out because they don't agree with his neighbor and things like that. It's a very concerning problem that we have in Portugal. We are trying to find solutions to improve this. And very connected to this is the problem of governance. Because even when we have an aggregation of a larger scale, it being the responsibility of municipalities, the decision-making process is very complex, is very long, sometimes is volatile. It's terrible. It's very difficult also to change this. Today we are facing in Portugal for the first time, I think, or at least in these terms, problem of scarcity. It's new for Portugal. We hear from small companies, these small companies of those 200 companies, is lack of regional solidarity. Why must I have to increase tariffs if the problem of scarcity is of that side? I don't have to do anything about that. As you can see, this is intangible. It's very difficult to change mentalities in a short period. So we have a lot of work here, and all other things concerning circular economy, awareness in circular economy, about what I heard here, about the value of water to the whole society. And I pointed out these 4 last topics because I think they are more difficult to face. They are the problems of a second stage of the process that we started 30 years ago, and because we are really concerned with that. Just finish, and after what I heard Helen say a few minutes ago, I don't resist, and I would like to tell you that the way we see our role as a regulator in all this panorama, we like to be collaborative. We don't want that our regulators have any surprise with a decision of ERSAR or any information or any document of ERSAR. We like to discuss it during the process, saying, alerting previously for any problems. We like to be seen that way, and we like to be trustful. We like to be, that they have confidence that our decisions are not volatile. And I would like to inviting you to visit our app, our website. We have some parts in English also, and we are improving that part. Doro also did that before, so it's again an invitation for that. Thank you very much.